Welcome to the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast. I am your host, Earnest James, friends to fatherless daughters on Instagram. And I want to thank you all for tuning in once again to the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast. I believe that everyone can live a life that is whole, healthy, and healed. And so I'm on a mission to help people to deal, heal, and fulfill. Let's deal with your problems, heal from the pain, and fulfill your purpose. And we are on episode 15. All right, episode 15. And today I have another guest. I am here with the detoxologist nurse Angie. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. I am good. Thank you so very much for taking out the time to spend some time with us and teach us some things today. And I'm so glad to have you. So introduce yourself a little bit and tell the listeners what it is that you do.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Angela Lee. I'm originally from South Carolina, and I'm currently over here in S1E, Georgia. Just opened up me a med spa, so being able to take everybody personally through the detoxification experience. The detoxification experience is allowing yourself to rest your gut so you can reset it from all these unhealthy, bad, healthy eating habits that we have in order to get your body to perform at its highest performance. You can follow me on all social media platforms. So again, I'm a registered nurse with over 12 years experience in the emergency room.
All right. All right. So we're gonna jump right in. We're gonna jump right in. And I just have a few questions because I know you said you deal with detox. So with the detoxing, how does that kind of work? Because I know they got from my understanding, it's like a liquid detox. I don't know if they got pills or whatever. So what different kind of detoxing methods are there, and how does it kind of work?
Okay, the difference between my detoxification, it is right now, it's kind of like all kinds of trends of detoxification. You have from detox teas, you have detox supplements, you have just regular detox, and a lot of people get it confused with alcohol and drug detox. But no, I help you naturally detox, and a detoxification means it is another word for cleanse, meaning allowing yourself that if you have been putting your body on a normal punishment, which most of us have, from the toxins that we breathe in to the food and healthy eating habits that we have, whether it's drugs and alcohol, any kind of punishment that you have allowed your body to come in contact with, now you are suffering with the chronic health conditions, whether it's high blood pressure, diabetes, thyroid, autoimmune disorder, fibromyalgia, lupus, multiple sclerosis. All those things are what they consider is incurable. But us being African Americans, I'm helping us detox so we can reduce our risk by resting our gut, cleaning out, and promoting good health.
Okay, so I have a question. So I know I heard of detox, but then I also heard of colonics,
Uh-huh.
right? So I know the difference between them, right? So is a colonic does it kind of does do the same thing? And would you recommend a colonic?
Yes, the my spa suite is inside of a clinic detox studio. So I do highly recommend because again, it is when you doing a cleanse, it means the elimination. It's just another word for saying frequent bathroom use. It's just a clean version word of saying frequent bath. Because many of us don't use the bathroom every day. And because I am an ER nurse, you would be amazed of the amount of people that come in creating a bill. Just an average bill starts off now. Just walking into a emergency room, it's like $1,000 without getting any treatment from a doctor, or nurse, or anything. So imagine coming in there because you can't poop or you haven't pooped. The average person does not poop every day, and so by connecting with me and hiring me to be your wellness coach, I'm able to help you identify some of those factors that's causing you to be overweight, which is the main culprit. Being overweight is causing you a lot of our African Americans, especially our men, are on high blood pressure medicine. They don't like taking high blood pressure medicine because it kills their nature. So, which means they don't end up taking it, which means they end up having more health conditions, which lead to a stroke that's causing them to have a deficit, whether it's the drooping of the face, whether it's slurring of the speech, deficit to the arms and limbs. So again, by these having a wellness coach and being able to help you identify, hey, you know what, maybe I don't need to drink cause a good many of us drink. And again, those people, they don't know how to identify the sugar that's in the gluten that's in beer. Nobody have ever sat down to think, oh, how is beer made? So I'm not here to probe those thoughts and being able to get you to think what happens to it before you buy it.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So I don't drink, but I eat a lot of pasta and rice. So how is that? Am I doing okay, or am I still
No,
doing something wrong?
no, you still doing again when we're talking about a diet, and I just add alcohol in there because many people, when I'm saying African American, just categorizing us, that when I was just using something that people don't think of yeast in beer, they don't put those two together, is how it's formed. But again, that is just something that the common most a lot of people do it, and they're not thinking. I'm not thinking about sugar. I'm not thinking about bread and yeast going with beer. I never heard of it. So again, when you're gonna talk about pasta, pasta is made with a protein chemical called gluten. Gluten is very dangerous. It is help. It swells. That's the protein that help make it last. So again, if you using what we talk about, the ramen noodles, or we're talking about um, your pasta for spaghetti. So if you put those things in water, what do? Of course they swell. So that's what the same thing is. It's not really swelling one time, it's swelling twice from the time it takes for you to prepare it. And then of course when it gets in your stomach and it's swelling again because your stomach is full of gastric juices. So that's for when you, and then you're not able to digest it because now you feel full. And guess what happens after you eat? Of course, carbohydrates are not, pasta is nothing but carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are nothing but starches, which is sugar. And again, causing you that after you eat it, what do you want to do? You want to go to sleep. And that's how many of
Right.
us, if you have a large abdominal area, that's where it's coming from.
Okay. And I know you keep you mentioning about the African American community, and that's definitely something I want to touch on. So what are some of the high health risks that we have in the African American community, and how can detoxing help some of those?
Okay. First, African American, when you're going down just a list of the common chronic health conditions, high blood pressure. High blood pressure is associated, the medical term is cardiovascular. The cardiovascular is running number one in African American women. We are not running number one with having the heart attacks, the cholesterol, the congestive heart failure. And again, then if you're going to categorize it, African American women, and then it's the Caucasian women, and then the African American men, y'all follow right under there. But then if you want to go with as far as cancer, colon cancer, African American men. So just did I just did a campaign. It's spreading more about colon cancer because the movie Black Panther with Chadwick. He was from Anderson, South Carolina, which is my home state. And the young lady that's out from Babs. And we just lost Mr. Greg Leaks, the husband to reality star Nene Leaks, colon cancer. And again, with me seeing it in the ER, when I asked some of the African Americans, they was like, oh, I didn't have any symptoms. But the thing is, I help you recognize the symptom because if you don't know what they are, then again, how can you go to the doctor to see what happens? So we're talking about abdominal pain. We're talking about blood in the stool because many people, when they wiping, they don't look. You need to be looking. We're talking about suppressing those issues, even if acid reflux that you're eating, but your food is getting stuck and you feel like you're regurgitating it back up. But why is that? So detoxification comes in because now that you have rest your gut, the average food, and I'm gonna use this pipe because I'm a visual teacher, and that's how I learned in nursing school. So this is a clear pipe, but say this is your stomach. This is one of your intestines. So imagine however many times that you ate today, and it's in there, and you never have went to the bathroom. So let's just start from Sunday, because most of the people we chow down on a Sunday dinner, and we
Right,
still
right.
Sunday meal. We still have a Sunday meal, and now okay, here it is Monday. We still haven't went to the bathroom. Now it's Tuesday, and then when we do go, maybe we only do drops. And what I mean by drops is your stool tells a different story. It tells a health story. So we want to know pebbles over logs, logs over snakes, snakes over streams. All those tell different, and color, because a lady that had breast cancer, she noticed her stool was a different color, which was a paley clay looking color. So again, I'm helped by me being out here in these detox streets. I'm helping you being more aware. I'm helping you being able to understand your body language, because again, through the hustle and bustle of life, we moving so fast. We got this microwave going on. We're not taking time to see, wait a minute, when have I used the bathroom? Did I go? Did I really feel like I emptied? When I did go, am I eating? How late am I eating? Am I eating like closer to bedtime, and then my body still not having the time to digest the food, which means that now, even though you laying down at 10 o'clock, you just ate a hefty meal, and now you laying down, you go to sleep, but your stomach never to go to sleep because it's still trying to churn down those hard foods. Meats are one of your harder foods to turn down. So you talking about something that can stay up in the body up to 7 days before it actually digests, which means your Sunday meal, your Monday meal, all the way to Sunday. And guess what? You're doing the same cycle again, and you haven't even digested the other, haven't even eliminated the other one from last week.
Wow. Okay. So well, if I'm hearing you right, you should have a bowel movement every day.
Every day. Every day.
Every day. Okay. So I got a question.
Okay.
So I'm 45. I'm not gonna ask you how old you are.
I'm 45 too. We twins.
Okay.
We age twins.
But you said it, but I ain't gonna ask. So I know as we get up in age, there are some things that we need to be checking for. And so what I want to start off with the ladies, I believe it's called the mammograms. If that's the breast thingy,
Yes.
when they get the breast check. Okay, so I know they need to get that. I would say probably, I don't know the age, around 45, or should they be getting it before that?
Well, now the golden age, in which I made a checklist. So if they text 833-370-1608 and they were to put cancer into the comment to the message, you're gonna get a download cancer. And I went to the cancer because I'm teaching, doing a cancer challenge this month. And in this cancer checklist, it has on there your questions, what you need to ask the doctor, what age you need to be asking. So it's saying from age 25 to 39, cervical cancer for us women. The age from 40 to 49, breast cancer screening, cervical cancer, correctile cancer. And again, the golden age used to be 50 years old, but right now, Chadwick, I think, is in between 42 and 44. So that, which means we need to start doing it right about 40, not the golden age to 50. But and again, because our diet is so horrible, that you can catch cancer 3 ways. You can catch it from the environment, meaning that you're working beside a plant and it's killing your lungs, no matter the pollutants that you're taking in. Your cleaning supplies, those of us with whatever we eating, we got Clorox, we want the house to smell good. We inhaling all those toxins, not realizing they are contributing cancer cells called carcinogens into our lungs and bloodstream. Then you can get it from the foods. So again, I tell everybody, I encourage everybody, you want to leave meat alone, at least through the detoxification. I teach my detoxification classes from 3, 7, or 21 days. I try to encourage everybody to do the 21 days to give you the best benefit of doing the cleanse. Because once you're doing that, you're cleaning out your liver, you're cleaning out your kidneys, and all your other reproductive systems as far as your cells and your blood. It can't repair itself if you're still eating a very toxic diet, such as fried foods. When you're talking about fried foods, most of fried foods is cooked with grease, and a lot of times the grease is cheap, which is the canola, the vegetable oil. So therefore, it's clogging up. It's clogging up our arteries. And I have this in the share. We want our lungs, our blood to flow in these veins and arteries just like this. Most of us, if we have a bad diet, there's plaque buildup on the side. And then for the one that's complicated, this is what causes a stroke. Because after a while, it stops and it's stuck. So when blood no longer able to flow, it pools and it gets stuck, causing a clot. And that's how we end up having a stroke.
Okay. So I know, so the ladies have to get or should get
The
mammograms.
mammogram, yeah,
But in the midst of that, or should I say before that, they should be doing the self checks, right?
the self
And
checks. Yeah,
And
if
I
they go
know
to my
you
Instagram page,
promote men to do the self check also. So exactly what are we? I know it's like you're feeling under your arm. I mean, you can probably go a little bit in how to do a self check, but what exactly are we feeling for when we go to do it? Like, what are we looking for?
when you are feeling, again, 1% in men's, one out of every hundred men's have can have breast cancer. So I just did the research on it in the statistics. For those of us women can have it, and again, it doesn't always. And if they go to my main page on my Facebook and Instagram, I did a video. I showed them exactly how to do it. And because you're on here, I just took this is what a breast. I ordered it off Amazon. And when you touch it, you want to use your fingertips. When you use your fingertips and you want to go in a circle of motion first, and as you touch it, you want to go from, I say, from shoulder blade all the way down to up under the breast for men and women. And then you want to go to from the inside of your armpit, because it's a thing called lymphnectomy, meaning your lymph nodes, which is what put your body more at defense. So again, if it's the cancer cells are caught in between the lymph nodes or in your duct gland, milk duct glands, then of course that's the reason why most people have a mastectomy. And a mastectomy means it's in the actual breast tissue. If it's a lumpectomy, it is caused up in the lymph nodes, so it's going to be in your armpit, meaning that you still can continue to keep the breast.
Okay, I'm learning today. So now I want to get into the men
Okay.
because now we're talking about me now.
Okay.
So again, I'm 45,
Mm-hmm.
and I know we got to start talking about that, getting the prostate checked and all that. So what is the age for men when we should start getting the prostate check? And I kind of know I've heard about what happens. So is there a way that there's a self check for men to do before going to?
No, but this is what I'm gonna say. You want to be able to reduce some of your fears, because men, especially your heterosexual men, they get very phobia to it, and just address the elephant in the room. But when you are getting these checked, and again, the doctor is he's only doing it, and he's chaperone, so he don't supposed to be in there normally by himself with. Of course, it can happen because of the same gender. But if it was a woman, which women don't have prostate, but if they doing an exam on a woman, a chaperone is going to be in there. And excuse me, you can ask for a chaperone if you want to. That's your right, so you don't have to worry about it. But once they do it, they being able to glove up and then being able to do lubricant, and they going in two motion. They're going straight in, and then they want to be able to the touch the prostate, and of course it's going through the anus and being able to have that little connection between the prostate. A lot of times your bladder, it can cause those who might be suffering from renal retention. That means you can't go to the bathroom, that your prostate can get too big and it lays on that urethra, so you're not able to get a good empty. And I worked at a urologist, so I see men come in all the time, and it's a lot of different things out there now for men. So we have from the penile check, from being able to, and you for the prostate, you can go and get a test. It's a blood test called a PSA, and that PSA is just checking the antigens in there, telling what your risk of cancer is. So again, you want to be able to do those things and being able to make sure you're healthy, because a lot of our men, and like I said, if you're going to put a category on them, a race on them, then African American men, we are running. I mean, the African American culture is running a high race against other ethnic groups, and a big reason is again because of the food that we're eating. And again, if we knew that changing our diet was so important, and I have to even add, we as African American, we don't have a physical activity into our daily routine. Every other race have a physical activity in their routine, even your millionaires and your billionaires. And I know that's what we're striving to become, but we need to start operating as one. So when I realized, like, hey, they getting up 4 or 5 o'clock. If you go on Clubhouse, those entrepreneurs coming in there, they just got from the gym, or they in the gym and they on there. You can hear them huffing and puffing. We as African American, not all, but most of us do not have a daily routine. So we need to incorporate those things. So to answer, some of your questions, what can we do to reduce our risk? The way to reduce our risk, changing our diet, being more knowledgeable about what's going on, being more knowledgeable of physical activity. That if I'm going to eat me a greasy burger, if I'm going to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's all the time, what day out the week am I going to rest my gut? What day am I going to clean all this out? So again, if I'm putting it in the questions that I tell my clients to ask, if I'm eating it, you should constantly be saying, when is it going to come out my body? And again, you don't know that if you're not using the bathroom every day. So
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. So this is gonna be the, sort of the last question. So I know that as adult men,
mhm,
right, as we get older, um, our bodies don't work the same, right?
mhm,
And so one of the big things is, which is also one of the reasons why I think a lot of guys is afraid of the getting the check. I don't know if it does or not, but I think there's a stigma that somehow that may affect them sexually in their
mhm,
performance,
mhm.
right? But I know that's not the only thing that affects us, as far as performing. Um, so that's why they got the, Viagra's and all that things and all those things. So is there a danger in taking that? And I know if there's a pre-existing condition, it may hinder also, even with taking those types of medicines or vitamins or whatever you want to call them. So what would be some of the drawbacks, I guess I could say, in mixing those drugs or whatever?
Okay, when we're talking about from, like I said, from the colon cancer to prostate cancer, we can go on. I just, like I said, if they go to cancer.org, they can be able to find out any kind of cancer it is. And some of them I never heard of in my life. And like I said, I've been a nurse over 12 years, and I do travel nursing from South Carolina to California to Texas, back in Georgia. And some of them I still never did see. And I was on the oncology floor, so I still didn't hear those. But to answer your question, when we were talking about the more health condition, what I would want you and along with your audience to know from the detoxification process, that how am I going to become healthy? We have to have these hard, insensitive conversations with ourselves. Because if we can continue to be selfish, we can continue seeing overweight, and we seeing our family and friends and seeing you and say, hey James, you done gained, put on a few pounds. Don't just laugh it off. Get to your closet and being able to have those kind of conversation. Don't keep allowing yourself to gain weight, because your abdominal girth is taking some of your size off. The abdominal girth is, so it's true when they saying, the shed or the garage is covering some of your manly parts. Those things are true. But they do have things, because again, as we age, because like I said, you and I are the same age, your libido stop. And your libido is, which is your sex hormone, that you might not be able to be in the mood. It could be health condition, blood pressure. That's going to be your number one reason that you don't feel like it, because your erection is blood flow. Erectile dysfunction is huge once you get past 50. It's huge because now, even though you want to, Jim won't let you. So that's the reason why you want to detox. You want to use some herbs. Honey goat wheat is one of the herbs you want to be able to use. You want to be able to use things, because if you already been diagnosed with these heart issues, then you don't want to mix Viagra, Cialis, and some of the other things that they came out with, or things you can pick up at the convenience store, because those things interact. Because again, nobody has educated our culture that what erection is. Erection is blood flow. So if you're going to interrupt the blood flow, how are you going to be able to sustain it? So you're going to put this medicine in. The medicine's going to do that. And I'm saying it because I had a guy that was like in his late 40s, took a little blue pill. He said he only took a half of one, kept an erection for over 24 hours. That's dangerous. They had to take him to surgery. I watched them try to chisel and put a chisel in order to drain the blood. It would not go down, so he had to go to emergency surgery. So that's the reason why I try to educate our men, because again, those are sensitive conversations. Don't about it, that's our ego. Don't no woman want to talk about she's not wet as a river down there, and men don't want to let them know they're not like a man of steel down there. So when you having those kind of conversations, get with somebody who understands the language, who can be able to talk and educate you or guide you with the best resources, which is a registered nurse, which is somebody like myself. So again, being able to have those conversations, changing your diet, again, erectile dysfunction, can still be contributed to an unhealthy diet if you eating a lot of grease. And think about our diet. I do on everybody. I have them to build a plate. Build a plate meaning that you going from your Sunday food. So if you have a Sunday plate, it has your ham hocks, your greens, your macaroni. Give me some names, James. What's on your plate? Build me a plate.
You know what? My favorite really is pot roast and baked macaroni and cheese, maybe a little cornbread with it. I try to throw a vegetable in there to make it a little more healthier.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's generally my my Sunday.
Okay, so being able, just because I'm just going to show just a little diagram and the different things of that nature as far as like prostate, because I want you all to know when we're talking about prostate, where it lies it up under the testicles. And so if we can see from up under the testicles, this camera is we're up under the testicles, and then being able to see that you can have testicular cancer. So again, you want to be, but they have things now that can give you an injection to get you back. They can do implants, like they got a P shot for men and an O shot for women to help build your libido back up. They have a penile enhancement, and they can give you some extra length if you need it. And they those injections inside the testicle. So some of these things are kind of non-invasive that you don't have to go all the way to surgery for. So again, you want to be able to change your diet to get your stamina up to produce and improve your overall performance. Because if you're able to work out, you go into the gym, you're able to get good blood flow, you're able to get that heart nice and strong. Now you can be able to be intimate without having to worry about all the strangers that's coming from taking all these supplemental vitamins that's interacting with your medication.
Okay, and that's why I wanted you to be on here, not just mainly for to talk about the detox, because I know that's a big thing with us, clearing out our bodies from the things that we eat, but also having those conversations that we need to have that most of us don't have. So I'm like Bernie Mac. I'm saying what nobody else won't say.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna ask the questions that they want to ask, but they don't want. So again, I thank you so very much for being on here, for being my guest. Where can we find you? And then tell us a little bit, because you have your own detox shake, right?
What I do when I make my detox shakes, I don't have my own. What I do is when I'm resting your gut, and I have a program. So I want people to join into my wellness program, resting your gut, being able to help you identify the foods that's causing you to be overweight, causing all this. So if I can get you well and get you healthy, the shakes that I make, they're non-dairy, and they won't disrupt your blood sugar. So that's the biggest thing. They cause diabetes, and we didn't even touch on that, but diabetes is another beast of its own self, causing amputations, causing blindness, causing peripheral vascular disease. It's obstructing the blood flow. So again, when you are
We can talk about it. If you got time, I got time.
okay.
We might as well talk about it while we're here.
Yeah, so when you're talking about diabetes, and that's a lot of the blood, that's a lot of the sugar that's along the bloodstream. So again, if I'm using my little diagram, when my using the diagram of the blood, and again, depending on, like you said, your pasta got a lot of sugar in it, hidden sugars. So if you don't know the name of those sugars and help you identify, then again, it's laying dormant in your bloodstream. Your pancreas is not able to break it down quick enough to produce insulin to break it down. That's the reason why you either pre-diabetic, type 1, type 2. So again, type 1 is always a little more complicated and a little more challenging, because that's the one that requires insulin. But can you reduce insulin? Sure you can. Can you reduce high blood pressure? Sure you can. Even though we've been told there's no cure for it, but with detoxification, my oldest client has been 80 years young, I call her, and she has lost 26 pounds, and she was able to get off her metformin because of changing her diet, helping her identify these foods that's causing her to be overweight. And again, we're habit of creatures. We used to that culture nourishment, and
Right.
we have to have a meat, we have to have cornbread with our greens and wish it all together. That just but again, I'm not saying that we have to avoid those things altogether, but being able to eat things in nice proportion sizes. And of course, if you're trying to perform in any area of your life, you want your hair to grow, like I said, as we start aging, our metabolism slow down, so we're not able to get rid of the weight like we did when we was in our 20s. Our hair starts shedding, our skin start looking like a dull pale color. So if you want those things to be restored, then detoxification is definitely for you.
Okay, well, I started going bald at 21, so I don't think that was my issue. But again, Nurse Angie, I thank you so very much for being on here, for taking the time to talk with us and our listeners. One more time, could you give your contact information where we can find you at?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. It's the Detoxologist Nurse, and I forgot to put the THE in front of that. But the Detoxologist Nurse, and like I said, you want to know what age group you need to be worried about the cancers and when to start getting your screenings. I highly suggest you to do it from the age 40 and up. But if you out there doing other activities that's going to help increase your risk, then you might want to start early in that. But if you text 833-370-1608 and put in the comment cancer, you'll be able to get one of these cancer screenings, and it got some questions on there that you can automatically ask the doctor about whether it's insured versus uninsured, and what do you need to know. You need to know, where can I go and get the screening. Don't wait till it happens. I'm out here trying to give us preventive measures to help reduce our risk in the African American community.
And can we get that text number one more time?
Okay, it's 833-370-1608. And in the comment, you're going to write cancer, and you will have a PDF is going to come to you. And I downloaded right off the cancer site, so it's nothing that I made up. And you can go to cancer.org in order to get more information. If you feel like you or your loved one is at risk, the goal is to reduce our risk before we get our name get on somebody's chart.
Right. Okay. Again, I thank you so very much for
No,
being
thank
here.
you.
I thank you, man. And I know you gave us a lot of information and a lot of good information that we needed to hear. Especially, like I said, I'm 45. I'm getting up there, so I got to have some conversations with myself, about some things, some changes I might need to make. So, but I thank you so very much for being here. Again, this is the Deal to Heal with E. James podcast. I'm your host, Earnest James, Prince of Fatherless Daughters on Instagram. And I am on a mission to help people to deal, heal, and to fulfill. To deal with your problems, heal from the pain, and fulfill your purpose. Until next time, we will see you next week.